Well, a company's eco-friendly investment may benefit the globe, but some are taking it a step further by promoting their message through their products and the people who work for them. Of the world's largest publicly traded companies, US-based health corporation Biogen has been named the most green by Newsweek. The magazine, in partnership with two research firms, based their list on companies' corporate sustainability and environmental impact. Smaller companies making a difference include Seventh Generation and Method. Both manufacture environmentally friendly personal care products. They also promote eco-friendly workplaces, including low-emission traveling, worker bonus programs, and outreach to local communities. Now, other companies on the list include outdoor clothing and equipment makers Go Light and Patagonia, and New Belgium Brewing. Well, for more on eco-friendly companies, I spoke with branding expert Bruce Turkel. I began by asking him what consumers can really expect when a company markets itself as eco-friendly.
When a company markets itself as eco-friendly, they shouldn't be doing it because of what the consumer will expect, even though, of course, that makes perfect sense. What instead they should be doing is marketing themselves that way because it matters to them. So many companies think, oh, I know what we'll do. We will market ourselves as eco-friendly. But in today's democratic information environment, it's too easy to find out whether it's true or not. What they need to do is actually be eco-friendly first and then market what it is they're doing. So to answer your question, the consumer could see that things are actually happening, however the company decides to do it.
And certainly with the rise of the internet, as you said, the information is out there. So what are some of the ways that companies are marketing themselves as eco-friendly?
Well, they talk, and you see it all the time. They'll talk about eco-friendly packaging. They will talk about low-impact or no-impact programs. They will talk about carbon-friendly travel restrictions on their company. There's lots of different ways to do it. But once again, what truly matters are only two things. Is it part of the authentic truth of the company, meaning does it matter to the company and does it matter to the employees? And then secondly, does it matter to the consumer? Because if the consumer doesn't care about it, then you could argue that unless they're forced to do it or they have a really, really strong commitment to the environment, it doesn't really make sense for the company to care about it.
So with that being said, is it more important then to worry about what the consumer thinks, or as you said, for the company to stick to its authentic truth when it comes to being eco-friendly?
In the old days, that is, pre-internet, it really only mattered what the consumer thought. You do whatever they want because then they'll buy your products. But today, too many companies sell too many look-alike items. Because of globalization, computerization, it's too easy to get function from any company. And so eco-friendly can be a way that a company has a competitive advantage, but only if it's true to who they are. Once again, if it's not, the employees will know, they'll call foul, they'll cry foul right away, and it won't take very long for the consumers to know either.
Now, in terms of some of the ways that some of these companies, if they want to get that authentic voice out there and they're not really sure how to connect that with consumers, what about some of the added costs in really educating consumers about who they are as a company?
Again, old school, new school. In the old school, all that mattered was you talked about what you were able to do, and customers said, oh, I need that, I'm going to go buy it. But new school is different. Again, too many products, too many companies offer look-alike products. So in fact, if you are eco-friendly, if being green is part of your authentic truth, then marketing it is not an additional expense. It's the true expense of marketing your company, because you're not marketing function. What you're marketing is, we offer you these products or we offer you these services, and when we do that, you can feel good because we are being good to the planet. It becomes actually the de facto messaging of the company's ethos.
As you look over, say, the past 5 to 10 years, how important would you say being eco-friendly is to consumers? How much does that weigh on their decision-making?
That's an interesting point because, yes, eco-friendly considerations are becoming more and more important. And as consumers are better educated, more sophisticated, more worldly, and let's face it, younger, it becomes even more important. However, it's not always important enough vis-a-vis the additional expenses. If being eco-friendly costs a company more, will the consumer happily pay for those pass-along costs? Some will and some won't. But to further complicate the issue, consumers are different people based on what it is they're buying. They're Jekyll and Hydes. They're schizophrenic. I say they, I mean we. For example, you might be an eco-friendly consumer. You might be willing to pay more. You might buy products in products that come in renewable packaging. You might buy products who have a smaller footprint. But then there's a time, let's say when you're, I don't know, you're returning a rental car and you pull up at the pump. You know, you have to fill the tank before you take the car back. And you have the choice to put in a higher octane fuel, which we've all been taught is better for the economy. However, it's not your car. You're not going to be using the fuel. And in fact, you're kind of annoyed because you have your plane to catch and now you have to stop at a gas station and put gas in the car. My guess is you don't put in the high test, because at that moment, you're a different consumer. You have other considerations, value and time. So companies have to be very careful that not only do they believe in this going into the future, but in fact, it will resonate with who their consumers are when they are purchasing their products.
Now, Bruce, not every company, just by the nature of its business, can really market itself as eco-friendly. Some, they're just not going to be. How do they compete?
Well, actually, companies could do it if they chose to. You can always find a way, right? There's always another way to skin a cat. There's always another opportunity. You could talk about your employee travel. You could talk about your LEED certified office building. But your point is actually much deeper than that. What do companies do if they don't have this offering? Well, as I suggested, this offering is only right, the eco offering that is only right for certain companies. It's part of your authentic truth as a company, and it's something your consumer cares about. More importantly, I would say, day in and day out, what companies care about is shareholder value. And if you are increasing shareholder value at an admirable pace, then eco-friendliness is probably not something that you have to worry about marketing. What you're demonstrating is that you're making the people money who have invested in you.
If you like what you just saw, follow us on social media and visit our website, cctv-america.com.